We are doing our final shakedown hike in Zaleski State Park. It's February 6th. It's 50 degrees. It's going to get down to 28. I thought we said 26. So, yeah. Jeremy's kind of carrying some extra weight, and the last couple of weeks have been leading up to that. It's been an interesting couple of weeks. Good morning.
You recording?
Yep.
Oh, morning.
All right, moving into day 2 of our last shakedown hike,
In February.
February. So, what do you think the temperature got down to last night?
Me?
Yeah.
About 19 to 20.
Yeah. So when we woke up this morning, it was 20, and it said feels like 20. So there was no wind chill. It was really quiet and really still last night, which is a little different for us, huh?
Yeah, we heard the owls hooting.
Yeah, that was pretty fun.
Hooting Annie.
We did hear, I heard, you didn't, I don't know how you didn't hear. I heard dogs, like wild dogs. Or
Some
coyotes,
coyotes.
probably some coyotes, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't very long, but they were just, Jeremy's a firebug. So, we're going to talk a little bit what our last several weeks have been. Our last video was, let's see, what did we do? We did a gear list.
Mm-hmm.
So we ran down all the things that we were going to be taking out on the AT. We've made one more change. I was using some gloves from REI, the waterproof, windproof, winter gloves that were gloves and liners, but the liners were merino wool and the gloves just weren't working. My fingers were just constantly freezing. And I was thinking maybe mittens might work better. So I got them yesterday. We went to REI and switched those out, and I got a merino wool hat, which I didn't have before. I got this gray gator merino wool, and then I got some mittens and some liners, so they worked really well. I'm really happy with that. So, Jeremy, what's been happening the last couple of weeks? What have we kind of fought through? What have been the loose ends we've been tying up before T-minus how many days?
26 days till we hit the trail.
26 days. Till step off, yeah.
We will get on a plane for Florida in about what?
10 days? No. 16 days?
15.
15 days.
15 days. Yeah, just dealing with trying to get over this sickness. I'm not down with it. It's just been lingering on. It's not like, it was terrible in the beginning where I was sicker than I'd been in a while, but now it's just the damn symptoms are persistent. So yeah, just trying to get over that. Eva's back, she strained her back real good, so just trying to be careful with that. And yeah, of course it all happens when you're getting so close.
Yeah. So the questions we've been getting, of course, from the people who love us are, what are you going to do if that happens out on trail? And Mom, what happens if you hurt your back on trail? And Jeremy, what happens if you get sick out on trail? Well, we go to the doctor. We take a 0 day or 2 or 3 or however many we need, right?
Just get off trail.
We get off trail. We take care of our bodies first. And it was, we both kind of said if it's going to happen, we're glad it happened before we left and not like right as we're leaving. So anyway, you fight through illness, you fight through everyday things. It's going to be like that on trail like it is in everyday life. You've just got to move through it, right? take care of your body as the best you can. So what kind of housekeeping stuff have we been doing? So we have to do our taxes.
Yeah, that's
Yay.
the last big thing we got to do before we leave.
Yeah, Jeremy had to go to the dentist. I had to go to the doctor. We had some prescriptions that we needed to refill. Make sure it's one of those things that I don't know that people really talk about. I haven't heard anybody talk about it really, but you have to make sure you have enough medicine if you're on any medication.
We're old. We're on meds.
You have to make sure that you have enough medication to last you for 3 to 6 months, or at least a way to get the prescriptions from where you live mailed to you. So we had to take care of that. Taking care of the ride to the airport, and we're staying overnight at the airport and flying to Florida, like Jeremy said. And then in our last video, a couple of videos, we've talked about our friends Susan and Tim Chestnut, who are going to be driving us to Immaquillola Falls and dropping us off at the trailhead, which we're really grateful for. What other housekeeping stuff?
Just last minute finance stuff. And
Yeah. So we have a truck that we will be making payments on while we're gone. We don't have a house payment at this point. All of the other like small things, of course, we don't have utility bills or anything like that. We will end all of our subscriptions to TV stuff.
Yeah.
Anything else? I'm thinking. So finances. So we've made sure that we have enough money to do the trail for the both of us for up to 6 months, right?
Yeah, and still be making truck payments and insurance and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. I'm getting really close to the fire. It was very cold this morning. So yeah, gosh, that seems to be about it. Is there anything else we can think of? No.
It is kind of weird but nice camping in February because it's going to be like in the 50s and 60s for the next couple of days, which is weird, but
Yeah.
it ain't that at night.
No. No.
It was cold last night.
No. But we wanted to work our gear. Yeah. Practice.
Yeah. I'm hot-blooded, so I mean it was cold, but
Oh my gosh. I
was fine.
I wore my fleece, his fleece. I had both of our
Jackets.
puffy jackets laid on top of me. I was in the sleeping bag, and I had the sleeping bag Sea to Summit liner. Still cold. I mean, I was survived, and I'll be fine. But yeah, it was pretty cold for me, and he was not. So I'm thinking we need to get a zip together quilt so I can use some of his body heat. It might be. I'm going to crawl inside of a sleeping bag with him. Let's see. So again, these videos are, this is documenting for our children and grandchildren. So we're not fancy with how we're going to put these together. We're really glad friends, and some other people are following along, and
What's editing?
but we're just really happy to be able to do this for our children, grandchildren, and friends and people that have reached out on our Instagram and Jeremy's Facebook group. Take Grace with you. Good morning. We are in a hotel, and there's a reason for that. So we have some lessons learned. So this video, I'm learning how to string together several videos and edit and all that stuff. But from the Tuesday we started out on our last shakedown hike before we head out on trail. And we got into our second day. We packed up and was ready to go to our second campsite. We got to campsite 2.
Yeah, there was no water.
No water.
The tanks was empty. This is where we were going. They truck in water in cisterns because the water there, if we do from fracking over the years and all that stuff, mining, it's not safe to even filter and drink. So they, at each campsite, they have cisterns that they fill. And yeah, we got to Camp 2 with no water because we were going to get water there, and they were bone dry. So we had to hike out.
Yeah. So we had planned on a a 5-mile hike to that Camp 2 and then fill up water there. But the lesson learned is get water where you can when you can. So in case there isn't water where you're going, we knew that. We just had really depended on that water being there. It has never not been there before. So at least for us, and we looked on all trails. Usually people, if there's no water at that cistern, people will say, hey, there's no water, or give a heads up. There was nothing on all trails that had suggested that. So
yeah, and we've hiked and camped it multiple times and never not had water.
Yeah. So our night there was, I think we did a video where we talked about the layers and all the things. So it got down into the teens, and our gear held up, but it was pretty cold. I was pretty layered up, but it worked. We had planned on a hike out of, less than 5 miles, but the hike out turned into an 8-mile day, with full packs on. So,
yeah. Because we got to Camp 2, we were just going to chill out and camp out today.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got there, but we had zero water. We couldn't let's just wing it. We had no water. We couldn't cook. We couldn't eat. We couldn't drink.
Yeah, that was...
So we
it
basically...
would have been dangerous to stay there like that.
Yeah, so we basically rested for, 20 minutes?
Mm-hmm.
And then hiked back to the truck.
Yep.
We did today's miles yesterday. We did them all.
Yeah, did them all one day. But so anyway, we got some lessons learned, and we really tested our body. We hiked 8 miles out with not much sleep, and no water. Yeah. So
it's a good test.
Yeah, it was a good test. So we know there's going to be probably lots of days like that. So we are heading back today to our son's house, and our packs, we're going to keep our packs for another week, train with them as much as possible in the next week, and then we're going to deliver our packs to our friends who are driving our packs down to Florida for us. So we won't be able to train with our packs past that point. And then it will be time to fly out and head to trail soon. So hopefully the flu-like symptoms that Jeremy's been struggling with for several weeks, he's going to go to urgent care today and just see, because we think it might have turned into an infection. The symptoms just aren't going away. They're not getting any better. They're kind of staying the same, and some things are getting a little worse. So make sure that gets knocked out before we head out. Other than that, yeah, I think we shared everything about our housekeeping stuff and chores that we have to do before we head out. But
yeah.
So, all right, good morning and goodbye. And we will, again, our next video will be in Florida. So, all right, bye.